Bum, 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 bum. Okay, people, here we are on 11/4/2025, day 21 of the launch of the IC solution, with me tracking my goals live, simulating the IC investigative meetups until I get a bunch of you to come and join me. Now, I want to give you some updates here. I have not slipped, but if we jump over here to one of my goals. Well, let's start take it from the top. First of all, the IC solution, what's it all about? It's learning how to make great changes in our life by rather than trying to fight that voice inside of our head, realizing that there's something separate from us. We refer to that as the instinctual core. And we look at this separate entity within our heads as something totally separate from ourselves. And it has worked miracles for me because before I was always trying to battle this other voice inside my head that I always thought it was me. And without a very detailed explanation, you won't really understand why the instinctual core, this instinctual thing in us, acts as kind of a separate co-pilot in us, directing us in the wrong direction. It's there to save our lives, but it's there to save our lives in a prehistoric world, not for this world. It doesn't know how to operate in this world. Anyways, we get all into that in the quick start guide, in the IC tutorials, in the IC University, and in our meetings. But that's the theme. Once you separate from your IC, the instinctual core, realizing what it's trying to do is save your life, but doing it ineffectively, you can learn to see yourself as separate and start to retrain it for this world, just like you would a puppy. Okay, and I've started to do that in the most important area of my life is with my alcohol addiction. And ever since I started, I haven't even thought of a drink for 8 years. But now I'm reapplying it to other areas of my life because I see it applicable all over the place. And the main changes I have made is to start eating perfectly, sticking to my workout, starting the overcome my anxiety. I've overcome so much social anxiety. That was the heart of my addiction. But I've also worked hard to overcome what my new anxiety was talking to this camera. And that's coming along well. The final thing was starting something new, and that's the launch of the IC solution. So I want to give you an update. Over the last 5 days, my life has been total chaos. I've had to drive all around the southeast to go to different soccer games, taking my son. I've gotten some serious dental work. Look how pretty my teeth look, by the way. I had, uh, fortunately, I was an alcoholic and not addicted to methamphetamines, meth, because that really grinds away your teeth. I was grinding my teeth away for a different reason because I got veneers and I've been basically grinding my bottom teeth away for the longest time. And I got some work done. So my teeth are actually pretty, and I actually use a filter because of and I'm looking at I keep on staring at myself over here. My teeth look way too white right now because there's a filter that had my yellow teeth whiter, but now I'm just so beautiful. I use a filter altogether because uh, working on videography, doing editing when your own face is involved and you have this anxiety about making sure you look perfect. By the way, that's caused by the instinctual core. It's just so much easier to use this filter. So this isn't exactly how I actually look, but I'm gonna go ahead. That's what it is in my head, and I'm okay with it. And it makes me feel comfortable doing these. So getting off track, let's hit these things one by one. Separating from my instinctual core. The reason why, even though I've been away from it for about 5 days, I haven't fell off track, is that I've been doing my daily meetings. I've been not doing great meetings, but I've been at least getting on, making a Zoom clip with my phone or just getting in here for the few minutes that I had. But I was constantly keeping it at the front of my awareness. Even though I wasn't making the videos, I wanted to make videos when I was out in Tennessee, but I'm not comfortable yet going live, make on a topic unless I have all my stuff right here on the website to show you, to walk you through all the different ways the instinctual core messes us up. And by the way, that's not even the point of these meetups. These meetups are just to keep myself accountable to make sure I'm continuing to do it. So if you're watching this, trying to learn something, don't watch it. Watch all the support videos. This is just something for me. So you know it's working for me. So you can come on and join up. But so the first one, whenever you're doing more than one goal, is separate from your instinctual core. Okay. What that and that is such an important glue because all of the changes you're making involve remembering that you've got this separate dysfunctional co-pilot trying to control you in a certain direction. And when you see, and at one, the default human perspective is to see that as yourself. But when you start to see it as separate, something magical happens. It makes commands like go eat a bunch of junk food, go get a drink, don't let that person insult you, don't you're no good, you're a piece of crap, and just you can't handle this life. That inner roommate is a term coined by, can't remember his name right now, but in the book Untethered Soul. Untethered Soul is kind of a spiritual way to look at this. This is a more scientific way to look at the same thing. But he calls it your inner roommate. And I'm with the instinctual core, I'm telling you why this inner roommate is such an asshole to you. But just remembering that separation every day and acknowledging it as separate. And what I do to do that is try and turn some monotonous task that I feel has to be done into something wonderful. And an example I can use is that when I was driving back from Tennessee, the last tournament, it was nighttime. The rain was horrible, visibility was zero, and Google Maps decided to take me off of I-75 coming down and throw me on these back streets where these cars were we were coming at each other at 60 miles an hour with this much space in between us. And reality was, it was like I was just one little slip. It was like a slip and slide where you couldn't even see, and death was just a corner away. And so I was driving like, and I'm like, okay, this actually is kind of a life and death situation, but driving scared as hell, is that helping me? No, it's making me question what I'm doing. So I flipped that, an actual survival scenario, and I said, all right, I'm going to make this the best drive of my life, and I'm going to focus totally, get totally engaged in what I'm doing from the human side. Appreciate that I've got a fun obstacle course of a roller coaster ride ahead of me, even though death, so I pushed the death aside. All right. I wouldn't recommend that. When there's an actual survival scenario, I wouldn't do it. I would just tell you to not do it. Like if you're being chased by a lot, but sometimes you have to. So I actually turned and I was able to drive better with more confidence, right? So it wasn't a monotonous task that I flipped. It wasn't a cumbersome task. It was a scary ass task that I was able to flip. So that even takes it to the next level. And overlooking the fear, I turned the fear into excitement, made it an exciting drive. My driving level went up. I was able to think about braking before the turns and accelerating through the turns and actual all those driver tips that we know. But point is, it even works for something scary ass like that. And I know some of you are thinking, that's not scary. I drive like that all the time. Congratulations, not all of us do. That was pretty freaky. Okay, overcome anxiety is the next thing I'm working at, and that's just getting used to talking to the camera. And I'm tracking that. And for me, when I started just 21 days ago, it's like I wanted to vomit while getting on the camera. Now I have no fear about getting on the camera at all. I'm getting more comfortable about what I'm saying. And I'm not really, during these IC meetups, I'm not hitting strong points. But now that I'm back in the groove, I'm going to get back to my commitment to make my 2 videos a day. And sometimes I have obstacles get in the way. But you basically see for the last, since day 16, through day 21, those 6 days, I didn't create good content. But I've kept myself in the right mindset to do that, and I'm ready to make 3. I've got some good examples that I might go on these. I want to be ready to. These are things I could just go live on, just flow and make some great points. So I have that set up for tomorrow, first thing. And again, I haven't even uploaded the other videos. Those are all ready to go. They're processing on YouTube right now. So I haven't quit, although I haven't been able to achieve what the daily achievements do, but and I haven't been able to get to my daily routine because life has taken me off the path, and I don't want that to happen. I think this is the most important thing in my life, and even though I drive to Tennessee, I'm going to figure out a way next time I drive to Tennessee or wherever, whether I'm on another side of the planet, to make the time to not just do a 2 minute video, but to get the 2 minute videos in and make something that can provide content so that my consistency is on. I'm not going to give myself a slip for this because I tried and I'm not perfect yet, just going live with selfies. So I had a lot of crap minutes filmed, but what can you do? Now, starting something new, we're back on board tomorrow morning. I was under the knife with this dental operation today, so everything's back in order come tomorrow morning. Unhealthy nutrition, I did not slip at all, which is incredible. Usually people say when you're on the road, you are going to slip, but I stuck with just having the smoothies that I brought or chunks of meat and vegetables. And there was no temptation. It's really weird where before you see I would be seeing all this junk food and be tempted by it. Every time I see that I see going for that junk food, I'm able to shove it back down. And check this out. Um, my ideal. So I only took 1 day off. Well, 2 days. One day, the Monday, I took a day of rest today because of the dental work. I'm not supposed to work out, but I got a 3 mile run in and got the day I was leaving, got a chest dry workout in, and check it out. And I've gone from 186.6 to 179.8. I'm not really doing this to lose weight. I'm doing this to get to my ideal weight, which I believe is going to be around 165. I've still got a long way to go, but just in 2 weeks, I'm already seeing the 170s, and like my body, when I'm eating right, it loses about a pound a week towards that ideal weight. When I'm eating wrong, it gains about a pound a week, shooting up towards who knows where that would top out. So being back on using this IC tracker to remember that I'm doing this, that's one of the hardest things with a diet. It's like you just go off and every time you have to remind yourself when that something inside your head says eat that junk food, you have to remind yourself to fight it. You've got to get up against battle in your head and use willpower. But when you're doing it against the little puppy in your head, the instinctual core, you just say, no, 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 little puppy, we're not doing that. And you realize it's not you that wants to eat that junk food. It's that thing that no longer understands deliciousness. Before, it used to push us towards deliciousness because the delicious was what kept us alive. With the manufactured food and the processed food of today, delicious is what kills us. You just have to train it. You see the difference? It's subtle, but it's huge. Exercise program. The Instinctual Core wants you to sit on your butt, but that is not what we want. We want to get out there and exercise. We want to live as long as we can, and exercise promotes that. So then I've got alcohol addiction down here, and that you see my personal valuation is at 99% because I'm not going to pick up a drop, but I'm just using it, and it's applying to some great uh, support videos that I'm making. So everything's on board. I didn't get off track with my separation from the instinctual core. Just got a little off track with traveling around and other things. So, but I'll be fully on board with the routine and the videos back tomorrow. Looking forward to that and making more content and figuring out how to one day actually get people to view the content. So far, I'm just posting on YouTube, and I know it just takes persistence, but I'm actually going to hire a social media manager to tell me all the things I'm doing wrong soon enough. Now that I've got about, as soon as I get about 15, I've got about 12 good ones up there. So, yeah, we're doing great. Uh, Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow.